Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agnanatimirandasya Gyananjana-Salakaya Chakshurunmiritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapatakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrijatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् शृण्वतां स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तन हृद्यन्दस्तो यभद्राणि विदुनोति सुहृत्सताम् नष्टप्रायस्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भागवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Before reciting the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayana, unto Nara Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Shri Vyasadeva, the author. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma super soul in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept Mahaprabhu's obeisances. All glories to Śrīla Prabhupada. So today we will finish the chapter 15. What is that? Text number 41. Vacham juhava manasi tatprana itare shatam mrityav apanam sutsargam tam panchatvehya ajo havidit. Vacham speeches you have relinquished manasi into the mind, that prane mind into breathing, itare cha other senses also, tam into that, mrityo into death, apanam breathing, sautsargam with all dedication, tam that panchatve into the body of five elements. He certainly ajohavit amalgamated it. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Okay, 1 second. Haribol. Okay, translation. Then he amalgamated all the sense organs into the mind, then the mind into life, life into breathing, his total existence into the embodiment of the five elements, and his body into death. Then, as pure self, he became free from the material conception of life. Purport. Maharaj Yudhishthira, like his brother Arjuna, began to concentrate and gradually became freed from all material bondage. First of all, he concentrated all the actions of the senses amalgamated in the mind, or in the other words, he turned his mind toward transcendental service of the Lord. He prayed that all material activities were performed by the mind, actions and reactions of the material senses, and since he was going back to Godhead, the mind would wind up its material activities and be turned towards the transcendental service of the Lord. There was no longer need for material activities. Actually, the activities of the mind cannot be stopped because they are the reflection of the eternal soul. But the quality of the activities can be changed from matter to the transcendental service of the Lord. The material color of the mind is changed by washing it from contamination of the life breathing, contaminations of life breathing, and thereby getting it freed from the contamination of repeated births and deaths and getting it situated in pure spiritual life. All is manifested by the temporary embodiment of the material body, which is a production of mind at the time of death. And if the mind is purified by practice of transcendental loving service of the Lord, and the same is constantly engaged in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord, there is no more chance of the mind's producing another material body after death. It will be freed from the absorption of material contamination. The pure soul will be able to return back home, back to Godhead. Text number 42. त्रित्वे हुत्वा च पञ्चात्वं तच्चैकत्वे जुहोन्मुनि सर्वमात्मा न जुहवीत् brahmanatmanamavyये. Tritve, into the three qualities, Huttva, having offered, Cha also, Panchatvam, five elements, Tat that, Cha also, Ekatve, in one nescience, Ajuhod, amalgamated, Munhi, the thoughtful, Sarvam, the sum total, Atmani, in the soul, Ajuhavid, fixed, Brahmani, under the spirit, Atmanam, the soul, Avyaye, unto the inexhaustible. Translation. Thus annihilating the gross body of five elements into the three quality modes of material nature, he merged them in one nescience and then absorbed that nescience in the self. So thus annihilating the gross body of five elements into the three quality modes of material nature, he merged them in one nescience and then absorbed that nescience in the self Brahman, which is inexhaustible in all circumstances. Purport. All that is manifested in the material world is the product of the Mahatattva Avyakta, and things that are visible in our material vision are nothing but combinations and permutations of such variegated material products. But the living entity is different from such material products. It is due to the living entity's forgetfulness of his eternal nature as eternal servant of the Lord and his false conception of becoming a so-called Lord of the material nature that is obliged to enter into the existence of false sense enjoyment. Thus, a concomitant generation of material energies is the principal cause of the mind's being materially affected. Thus, the gross body of five elements is produced. Maharaj Yudhishthira reserved the action and merged the 5 elements of the body in the 3 modes of material nature. The qualitative distinction of the body as being good, bad, or mediocre is extinguished, and against the quality manifestation become merged in material energy, which is produced from false sense of the pure living being. When one is thus inclined to become an associate of the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, in one of the innumerable planets of the spiritual sky, especially in Goloka Vrindavan, one has to think always that he is different from the material energy. He has nothing to do with it, and he has to realize himself as pure spirit or Brahman, qualitatively equal with the Supreme Brahman, Parameshvara. Maharaj Yudhishthira, after distributing his kingdom to Parikshit and Vajra, did not think himself emperor of the world, nor head of the Kuru dynasty. The sense of freedom from material relations, as well as freedom from material engagement of the gross and subtle encirclement, makes one free to act as the servant of the Lord, even though one is in the material world. This stage is called Jivan Mukta stage, or the liberated stage. Even in the material world, that is the process of ending material existence. One must not only think that he is Brahman, but he must act like Brahman. One who only thinks himself Brahman is an impersonalist, and one who acts like Brahman is the pure devotee. Text number 43. Chiravasa niraharo baddavan muktamurdhaja darshayan atmanorupam Chadonmatta Pishachavad Anavekshamanoniragad Ashrinavan Padiro Yatha Chiravasa accept the torn clothing. Nirahara gave up all solid foodstuff. But Davag stopped talking. Muktamurdaja untied his hair. Darshayan began to show Atmana of himself. Rupam bodily features. Jada inert, Matta mad, Pishachavad just like an urchin, Anavekshamana, Anavekshamana, without waiting for, Niragats was situated, Ashrinvan without hearing, Badira just like a deaf man, Yata as if. Translation. After that, Maharaj Yudhishthira dressed himself in torn clothing, gave up eating all solid foods, voluntarily became dumb, and let his hair hang loose. All this combined, all this combined to make him look like an urchin or madman with no occupation. He did not depend on his brothers for anything, and just like a deaf man, he heard nothing. Purport. Thus, being freed from all external affairs, he had nothing to do with imperial life or family prestige, and for all practical purposes he posed himself exactly like an inert mad urchin and did not speak of material affairs. He had no dependence on his brothers who had all along been helping him. The stage of complete independence from everything is also called the purified stage of fearlessness. Text number 44. Udicim praviveshasham gata purvam mahatmabi didi brahma param dhyayan navarteta jato gata. Udicim, the northern side. Praviveshasham, those who wanted to enter there. Katapurvam, the path accepted by his forefathers. Mahatmabi, by the broad-minded. Riddhi, within the heart. Brahma, the supreme. Param, got it. Dhyayan, constantly thinking of. Na avarteta, past his days. Yataha, wherever. Gataha, went. Translation. He then started towards the north, treading the path which was accepted by his forefathers and great men. to devote himself completely to the thought of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he lived in that way wherever he went. Purport. It is understood from this verse that Maharaj Yudhishthira followed in the footsteps of his forefathers and the great devotees of the Lord. He was discussed with We have discussed many times before that the system of Varnashram Dharma, as it is, was strictly followed by the inhabitants of the world, specifically by those who inhabited the Aryavarta province of the world. Emphasizes the importance of leaving all household connection at a certain stage of life. The training and education was so imparted, and thus a respectable person like Maharaj Yudhishthira must leave all family connection for self-realization and going back to Godhead. No king or respectable gentleman would continue family life till the end, because that was considered suicidal and against the interest of the perfection of human life. In order to be free from all family encumbrances and devote oneself 100% in the devotional service of the Lord Krishna. This system is always recommended for everyone because it is the path of authority. The Lord instructs in the Bhagavad Gita 1862 that one must become a devotee of the Lord at least at the last stage of one's life. A sincere soul of the Lord like Maharaj Yudhishthira must abide by the instruction of the Lord for his own interest. The specific words Brahman Param indicate Lord Sri Krishna. This is corroborated in the Bhagavad Gita 10:12 by Arjuna with reference to great authorities like Asita, Devra, Narada, Vyasa, etc. Thus Maharaj Yudhishthira, while leaving home for the north, constantly remembered Lord Sri Krishna within himself, following in the footsteps of his forefathers as well as the great devotees of all times. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Bhang Prabhu, Tanda Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, please accept humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Will you read today, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, a few pages, but can I just go to the toilet quickly? I'll be back. You can continue a little bit. I'll stop you.
Yes, Prabhu.
Haribo.
Text number 45. Sarve tam manu nirjagmur bratara krita nishchaya kalina dharma mitrena drishtva sprishta praja bhuvi. Sarve, all his younger brothers, tam him, anu nirjagmu, left home by following the elder. Brataraha, brothers, krita nishchaya, decidedly, kalina, by the age of Kali. Adharma, principle of religion. Mitrena, but a friend. Drishtva, observing. Sprishta, having overtaken. Praja, all citizens. Bhuvi, on the earth. Translation. The younger brothers of Maharaj Yudhishthira observed that the age of Kali had already arrived through the world, and that the citizens of the kingdom were already affected by irreligious practice. Therefore, they decided to follow in the footsteps of the elder brother. Purport. The younger brothers of Maharaj Yudhishthira were already obedient followers of the great emperor, and they had sufficiently been trained to know the ultimate goal of life. They therefore decidedly followed their eldest brother in rendering devotional service to Lord Sri Krishna. According to the principles of Sanatan Dharma, one must retire from family life after half the duration of life is finished, and must engage himself in self-realization. But the question of engaging oneself is not always decided. Sometimes retired men are bewildered about how to engage themselves
Hare
for
Krishna, Prabhu.
life.
I'm here, Prabhu.
Oh, Haribol, yes, Prabhu. From here you can continue.
Okay, Prabhu. Oh. Am I audible, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Here is a decision by authorities like the Pandavas. All of them engaged themselves in culturing favorable the devotional service of the Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. According to Swami Sridhara, Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha, or fruitive activities, philosophical speculations, or salvation, as conceived by several persons, are not the ultimate goal of life. Oh, and I think I saw something like Prabhu. Did you see the lecture of Tatvavid Prabhu today, where he was talking about the 6 sons of Devaki before Shesha and Lord Krishna, where he said it was actually there's anger, I forgot, illusion, envy, I forgot the others, Loba, Moha, Matsya, something like that.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, it was actually the first time hearing about such, eh?
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting thing.
Okay. Moksha, okay, Dharma, Artha, Karma, and Moksha, all fruitive activities, philosophical speculations, or salvation, as conceived by several persons, are not the ultimate goal of life. They are more or less practiced by persons who have no information of the ultimate goal of life. The ultimate goal of life is already indicated by the Lord Himself in the Bhagavad Gita, 1864, and the Pandavas were intelligent enough to follow it without hesitation. Text 46. Te sadhu krata sarvata gyatvatyantikam atmanaha manasa dara yamasur vaikunta charanambujam. Synonyms there, all of them. Sadhu krita, having performed everything worthy of a saint. Sarva artha, that which includes everything worthy. Gyatva, knowing it well. Atyantikam, the ultimate. Atmanaha, of the living being. Manasa, within the mind. Darayamasuha, sustained. Vaikunta, the Lord of the spiritual sky. Charana ambujam, lotus feet. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. They all had performed all the principles of religion, and as a result, rightly decided that the lotus feet of the Lord Sri Krishna are the supreme goal of all. Therefore, they meditated upon His feet without interruption. Purport. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, Bhagavad Gita 7.28, that only those who have done pious deeds in previous lives have become freed from the results of all impious acts can concentrate upon the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Shri Krishna, the Pandavas, not only in this life but also in their previous lives, had always performed the supreme pious work, and thus they are ever free from all the reactions of impious work. It is quite reasonable, therefore, that they concentrated their minds unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. According to Sri Vishwanatha Chakravarti, Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha principles are accepted by persons who are not free from the results of impious action. Such persons affected with the contaminations of the above 4 principles cannot at once accept the lotus feet of the Lord in the spiritual sky. The Vaikuntha world is situated far beyond the material sky. The material sky is under the management of Durga Devi, or the material energy of the Lord, but the Vaikuntha world is managed by the personal energy of the Lord. Prabhu, what is the difference between Mahamaya and Yoga Maya and Durga Devi? Because I've seen Durga Devi sometimes sits on a tiger, sometimes on a lion,
Yes, Prabhu, this Durga Devi is Mahamaya.
Is Mahamaya, like the great illusion.
Yes, Prabhu.
And then Yoga Maya
is the spiritual potency.
The spiritual potency, in what way? Like it's like a planet that influences, it's like air,
Like Radharani.
Is it like, sorry?
Like Radharani and her expansions.
Oh, Radharani and expansions.
Yes, Prabhu.
I don't quite get it, but I'll get it maybe as we go.
Yes, Prabhu. It's the same energy, but the other part is in contact with the material things, and the other is in contact with spiritual things.
So let's say, okay, I just want to get this. Which one actually affects us? Is it Yoga Maya or Mahamaya? Like the one that leads us, like let's say if you don't reveal your mind, as a devotee, and then you end up doing material nonsense. Which one leads us there?
Then we're under Mahamaya, but when you do your service and you get these nice ideas on how to do service better, then that's Yoga Maya, giving you some inspiration.
Strength. Oh, so Yoga Maya, it's not actually against.
Yes, Prabhu. It's the same as Maya, but in helping you
Oh, in helping.
inspire
So it's
you.
like a counter. It's like a counteracting Mahamaya, something like that.
Yes, Prabhu. Same as Mahamaya, but spiritual. Like there
Opposite.
is yes, like there is electrical energy. It can be hot or cold. You use it in oven or in fridge, but it's the same energy. Similar, the spiritual energy, if it's used to cover someone materially as put them in illusion, then that is Mahamaya. If it's used to serve Krishna, then it's Yogamaya.
Oh, it's Yoga Maya.
Yes, Prabhu.
Oh, okay,
So
now I get it.
Maya in when it comes together with service, then it's Yogamaya. And devotees are always under Yogamaya.
Oh, Yoga Maya, because of the good deeds.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
But I'm rascal
I
and
know.
always harassed by the Mahamaya because that's
Oh, yes, yes. And Durga Devi, can we just say, okay, like it's a demigod, right? Or they're all demigods. Could
yes,
we say they're all demigods? Because I know Durga Devi, it's like a it's like a demigod where she has 8 hands. You
yes,
can
Prabhu.
pray to her. And I
Yes,
thought Durga Devi, it's like Lakshmi, isn't it? Is there something like that, Prabhu?
yes, Prabhu. They're all the
Supreme
expansion of the
God.
spiritual potency. Yes,
Okay, Prabhu. Okay, Prabhu. Text 47 to 48. Tat daya nod rektaya bhaktya vishudaha dihishanaha pare tasmin narayana pade ekanta matayo gatim avapur durava pamte asad bir vishayatma bihi viduta kalmasya stahanam virajena manaivahi. Synonyms start that dihayanot, dihayanot, positive meditation. Riktaya, being freed from. Bhaktya, by a devotional attitude. Vishuddhaha, purified. Dishanaha, by intelligence. Pare, unto the transcendence. Dasmin, in that. Narayana, the personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna. Pade, unto the lotus feet. Ekanta matayaha, of those who are fixed in the Supreme. Who is one? Gatim, destination. Avapur, attained. Duravapam. Very difficult to obtain. There by them. Asadabi, by the materialist. Vishaya atma, being absorbed in material needs. Viduta, washed off. Kalmasya, material contaminations. Stanam, abode. Virajena, without material passion. Atmana, ever by the self same. body, by the self same body, he certainly. Translation. Thus, by pure consciousness, due to constant devotional remembrance, they attain the spiritual sky, which is ruled over by the Supreme Narayana, Lord Krishna. This is attained only by those who meditate upon the Lord, upon the one Supreme Lord, without deviation. This abode of the Lord Shri Krishna, known as Goloka Vrindavan, cannot be attained by persons who are absorbed in the material conception of life. But the Pandavas, being completely washed off all material contamination, attain that abode in their very same bodies. Did they disappear now, Prabhu? The Pandavas, or they're still mourning for the Lord? Semi,
Yes.
Prabhu.
They are leaving, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhu. Purport. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, a person freed from the three modes of material qualities, namely goodness, passion, and ignorance, and situated in transcendence, can reach the highest perfection of life without change of body. Srila Sanatana Goswami in his Hari Bhakta Vilasa says that a person, whatever he may be, can attain the perfection of a twice-born Brahmana by undergoing the spiritual disciplinary actions under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, exactly as a chemist can turn what? Gun, what is this, Prabhu? Gun mental. Is there such a word as, gun metal into gold? It's like one word. Into gold by chemical manipulation. It is. Therefore, the actual guidance that matters in the process of becoming a Brahmana, even without change of body, or in going back to Godhead without change of body. Srila Jiva Goswami remarks that the word he used in this connection positively affirms this truth, and there is no doubt about this factual position. The Bhagavad Gita also affirms this statement of Srila Jiva Goswami when the Lord says, Bhagavad Gita 14:26, that anyone who executes devotional service systematically without deviation can attain the perfection of Brahman by suppressing the contamination of the three modes of material nature. And when the Brahman perfection is still more advanced by the self same execution of devotional service, there is no doubt at all that one can attain the supreme spiritual planet Goloka Vrindavan without change of body, as we have already discussed in connection with the Lord's returning to his abode without a change of body. Prabhu, like that thing that when they say you can be, like, let's say people who are in devotional service now, it's like every action they do, it's spiritual. Can we say, is that like their consciousness perception sees in like the Goloka Vrindavan? He's here materially, but then his consciousness
Yes,
comes
Prabhu.
from Goloka Vrindavan.
Yes, Prabhu, that's accurate.
Because one thing that actually kills me, that they say Earth is in the middle planets. Boo. Is it the Boo? I don't know if it's the Boo, like Boo Burva, you know. They say it's the middle planets, but then we have 14 planets. And when I check, how is it the middle planets? Because there is no middle between 14, you know. It's
Bhuloka,
either
Prabhu, 17. It's Bhuloka. I mean, it's not
Boo
exactly
Boo.
middle, but yeah.
Oh,
It's the
yes.
seventh planet we are in. It's called Bhuloka. Topmost is
Bhuloka.
Swargaloka
It's
and the
the
bottom is
seventh.
Pataloka.
Oh, yeah, Peter. Oh, and then, so meaning Brahmaloka, it's next to Satyaloka, right? Which one is top? Is it Brahmaloka or
Swargaloka,
Satyaloka?
the residence of Brahma, Lord Brahma. That's called Swargaloka.
Oh, Swargaloka. That's the
Brahmaloka. It's
topmost.
actually called Brahmaloka. My bad. They're all heavenly worlds. So Brahmaloka is the topmost.
Okay, Prabhu. So, meaning we are the seventh, right? Because I thought maybe we're in the middle. That's why actually we have a choice like to do good or bad, you know?
Yes, Prabhu, we are in the middle.
Yeah, okay. That's why we are influenced by both to get a balance. So what I want to know, like let's say we go to Brahmaloka, will there be less and like evil entities?
Yes, Prabhu, there is no evil entities and there is no Kali Yuga or anything. There is like no birth or there is like this. It's almost no suffering. They don't take birth the same way. They don't die the same way. They don't have gross bodies. It's,
Oh, so it's like they float with spirits bodies, or they have a type of body. Because I heard a certain purport in the Bhagavad Gita that even in the sun planet there are entities, but then they don't go with the same body, because the body, like, you cannot burn the soul, nor can it be moistened, nor can it be withered by the air, such as Lokane.
yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, in the paper it's actually stated that there are some entities that live in the sun planet, but then they don't have the same body as us.
Yes, Prabhu.
But then since it's material, people have to die, right?
Yes, Prabhu. They have to leave their position, but they don't die exactly like us, like, in a pain and suffering and the body is dwindling. They in the heavenly planets
Oh,
they would leave the body differently because
okay, okay.
there is no also effects of this. How I can
Oh,
say
yes.
there is
The
not.
effects that are the same as Earth.
Yes, Prabhu. They don't have like diseases and all these things there.
Oh. Like the HIV, coronaviruses, these
Yes,
kind of
Prabhu.
flus, swine flus. Okay. Okay, I don't know what text is this, but then Viduro pi partyaja prabhase deham atmanaha Krishna vishena tak chitaha pitrabi swa krishyayam yayau. Vidura, the uncle of Maharaj Yudhishthira, Api also Parityaja, after quitting the body, Prabhase, in the place of pilgrimage at Prabhasa, Deham, Deham at Manaha, his body, Krishna, the personality of Godhead, Aveshina, being absorbed in that thought, that his Chittaha, thoughts and actions, Pitrabihi, along with the residents of Pitaloka. Is it Pritaloka or Pitaloka? Svakshemaya, his own abode, Yayao departed. Translation: Vidura, while on pilgrimage, left his body at Prabhasa because he was absorbed in thought. Vidura, while on pilgrimage, left his body at Prabhasa because he was absorbed in thought of Lord Krishna. He was received by the denizens of the Pitraloka planets, where he returned to his original post. Now Mahabharata is finishing off, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Purport: the difference between the Pandavas and Vidura is that the Pandavas are eternal associates of the Lord, personality of Godhead, whereas Vidura is one of the administrative demigods in charge of the Pitraloka planet and is known as Yamaraj. Men are afraid of Yamaraj because it is he only who awards punishment to the miscreants of the material world. So, Prabhu, meaning if, like, let's say you die and you're thinking about the Lord, you are not going to be fetched by Yamaraj, ne? Is it the Vishnu Dutas? I'm not certain.
Yes, Prabhu.
Where are they situated? In the Vaikunta or?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Miscreants of the material world, but those who are devotees of the Lord have nothing to fear from him. To the devotees, he is a cordial friend, but to those non-devotees, he is fear personified. Oh yeah, Prabhu, one thing, like let's say Vaikunta is different to Goloka, right? It's two different worlds.
Same world but different place.
Like how? South Africa, United States.
Yes, Prabhu.
Is it
Like
on the same?
it's different planet, but it's the same universe.
No, but the same universe. Because maybe like some people desire to go to Goloka, maybe some to Vaikunta,
Yes,
but I
Prabhu.
know it's not, don't just go there because of at your will.
Yes,
You go
Prabhu.
there through devotional service, yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. It's different
Okay.
planets.
Okay, but
You can travel inside spiritual world from planet to planet.
but then I heard that in Vaikunta you need the same body as Lord Vishnu.
There is others also. There is trees and there is parrots and others. They don't. It's not
But
the.
then, Prabhu, how would you be there in Vaikunta being a tree? You're not going to enjoy it. Not okay. Like, how are you going to serve as a tree? Maybe your
Yes,
shadow.
Prabhu. It's made of the same element as the other bodies.
Oh yes, yes.
Tree is as conscious as the flute is.
Oh, okay, Prabhu. Okay, but those who are devotees of the Lord have nothing to fear from him. To the devotees, he is a cordial friend. But to the non-devotees, he is fear personified. As we have already discussed, it is understood that Yamaraj was cursed by Manduka Muni to be degraded as a Shudra. And therefore, Vidura was an incarnation of Yamaraj as eternal savior of the Lord. He displayed his devotional activities very adherently and lived a life of a pious man, so much so that a materialistic man like Dhritarashtra also got salvation by his instruction. You know, Prabhu, now I understand why demigods actually, like, they sometimes desire being human beings. You know, His Grace Sunar Gopal Prabhu has shown us that statement that they desire to be human beings.
Yes, Prabhu.
Because look at the injustice he did to Manduka, because he punished him for something that he did before 13 years, and you're not allowed to punish, a person who did that before 13 years, because they say, I don't know, his logic is not actually developed.
Hmm.
But look at Vidura. When he came, he did one of the best devotional service, but then when he was a demigod, you don't know what caused him to do injustice to Manduka. But then I think it's actually part of the curses and everything, so that they can come be there with the Lord.
Yes, Prabhu. This is not really like curse.
Yeah, it's not, it's actually a Leela. They had
Yes,
to come with the Lord.
yes, like Maharaj
But
Parikshit was
I want to
cursed.
know, like, so meaning they control two positions at the same time. Like, with God, I can understand that's possible, like being Lord Krishna in Goloka and then being God as a person here, because he's not actually a material being. But then for the demigods, like, how do they do it? Like, become a person here and then still be, what can I say? Still be guiding the planets. Like, let's say Brahma, if he wants to reincarnate as a person, as a sadhu, as a sage, and roam around Earth. How is it possible to manage the
I'm not
above
sure how
planets
they.
and
I'm sure they have something for that. Krishna has some, but I'm not sure actually how this happens. Because
no?
Indra also became a pig, and then when he was with
I
his pig
remember that. And
family,
then he was happily ever after.
yeah,
But
maybe
it
the
feels like there's something that I've heard that the demigods changes, like, but then the name of the demigods will forever be Indra. But then it's like when you do the highest tapasya, you know, that's why Indra likes disturbing other people when they do like the sacrifices of the horse.
yes, Prabhu,
It's
but
like everyone. Yes.
the other cases I understand. But in the case of Yamaraj, I don't know how it goes that who takes care of the judging of the persons.
So yes,
we
yes.
cannot we
Why?
cannot understand this really because we try to understand this in our way that we need to, if we want to do work, we have to go to the workplace and we always think in our own bodily way. So they
Yeah,
don't.
because when you sleep, you cannot be asleep and awake at the same time. Like
Yes,
you are dreaming and then you're doing nah.
yeah, some answer there definitely
Maybe
is.
they have double curses. Like on a computer there's a cursor. When you press start button, you cannot have two mouses. Maybe they have two mouses,
Yes, Prabhu.
something like that.
Or
Just a
there is some other
speculation.
personality who is taking care of the duties in that planet during that time. it could be like that also.
Oh, yes. Prabhu. Yeah. Because you remember they said you can do tapasya to become Lord Brahma, but then we cannot
Yeah,
become
and
Lord Shiva.
when there is no qualified Lord Brahma, then Krishna becomes Lord Brahma. So I think Krishna can become Yamaraj also if needed.
Oh, yes, Prabhu. Sometimes I question, I always ask myself, what if we were demigods someday, sometime,
Yes, Prabhu. Actually,
Maybe we're,
answer because Krishna also, when the Brahma took away the cowherd boys and then Krishna became them. So Krishna can become Yamaraj also like this.
oh yes, I remember that scene. And Lord Brahma was actually shocked. Like for a year, he went for a year, and then he found that no, man, there's still peace.
Yes, Prabhu. Garibol, purple.
Are we here again?
Did you read this? I forgot.
Yes, Prabhu. I was actually down next to Yamaraj below, next to the Ratrashta, somewhere there. Fallen soul. Who's the fallen soul now? He wants to read.
Oh, we have like one verse. Two.
One verse like how?
Yeah, we have two verses left.
Yeah, you can let. I
Yes,
was actually finishing off the purport,
yes,
you
Prabhu.
know.
You can read this purple, then we can change. But where were
Yeah,
you? Okay,
then
continue from here.
where? Okay, to the devotees, he's a cordial friend, but to the non-devotees, he is the fear. Yeah, we were somewhere here, Prabhu, but then it's fine. Let me continue from there. But to the non-devotees, he is fear personified. As we have already discussed, it is understood that Yamaraj was cursed by Manduka Muni to be degraded as a Shudra. And therefore, Vidura was an incarnation of Yamaraj as eternal savior of the Lord. He displayed his devotional activities very adherently and lived the life of a pious man. So much so that a materialistic man like Dhritarashtra also got salvation by his instructions. So by his pious activities in devotional service of the Lord, he was able to remember always the lotus feet of the Lord, and thus he became washed off all contamination of a Shudra born life. And at the end, he was again received by the denizens of Pitraloka and posted in his original position. The demigods are also associates of the Lord without personal touch, whereas the direct associates of the Lord are in constant personal touch with him. The Lord and his personal associates incarnate in many universes without cessation. The Lord remembers them all, whereas the associates for God, due to their being very minute parts and parcels of the Lord, they are adept to forget such incidences due to being infinitesimal. Infinitesimal. This is corroborated in the Bhagavad Gita 4.5. Prabhu, do you know this thing of the Varna? I could not actually understand the Varna, like Varna and Ashram. I could understand only the Ashram, like what's happening in the Ashram, but the Varna could not get it until Prahlad Bhakta Prabhu explained it. And he went as going. There was a lecture where he said the Brahmana is the head, the mind, knowledge, and then the Vaishyas, it is the stomach. The Kshatriyas is actually the hands, those who protect. And then the Sudras are actually the feet because they work for the Vaishyas. The Vaishyas usually are the farmers, you know. And then that's where I could get it. Oh, these ones are the suppliers of the bellies for the Shudras, actually. It's like the businessmen in nowadays. And he made it so simple that I never forget it. Whenever I always explain it to myself, I touch my head, I touch my feet, hands, my legs.
Yes, Prabhu.
He did it in a very interesting way, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. This is good explanation.
Oh, Dheeraj. Dheeraj wants to read.
Yes, Prabhu. Please finish this purport. I forgot where we are.
No, the last part. I finished it. Bhagavad Gita 4.5.
Prabhu. Okay, now is Dheeraj Prabhu's turn.
Hare
How long
Krishna,
is the
everyone.
purpose?
Please accept my business of Prabhupada.
Yes,
Hare
Prabhupada.
Krishna, Prabhupada, noble
Sure.
obeisances
Thank you
of
so
Lord
much
Krishna
for
Prabhupada.
giving me opportunity to write.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Hare
Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Draupadi cha tadagnyaya patitam anapekshataam vasudeve bhagavati ya ekantamatirapatam. Draupadi, the wife of Pandavas. Cha, and tada, at that time. Agnyaya, knowing Lord Krishna fully well. Patinam, of the husbands. Anapekshatam, who did not care for her. Vasudeva, onto Lord Vasudeva, Krishna. Bhagavati, the personality of Godhead. He, exactly. Ekanta, absolutely. Matihi, concentration. Apa, got. Tam, him, the Lord. Translation. Draupadi also saw that her husbands, without caring for her, were leaving home. She knew well about Lord Vasudeva, Krishna, the personality of Godhead. Both she and Subhadra became absorbed in thoughts of Krishna and attained the same results as their husbands. Purport. When flying an airplane in outer space, one cannot take care of other planes. Everyone has to take care of his own plane. And if there is any danger, no other plane can help another in that condition. Similarly, at the end of life, when one has to go back to home, back to Godhead, everyone has to take care of himself without help rendered to other. The help is, however, offered on ground before flying in space. Similarly, the spiritual master, the father, the mother, the relatives, the husband, etc., can all render help during one's lifetime. But while crossing the sea, one has to take care of himself and utilize the instructions formerly received. Draupadi had 5 husbands, and no one asked Draupadi to come. But Draupadi had to take care of herself without waiting for her great husbands. And because she was already trained up, she at once took to the concentration of the lotus feet of Lord Vasudeva, Krishna, the personality of Godhead. The wives also got the same result as their husbands in the same manner. That is to say that without changing the body, they reach the destination of back to Godhead. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur suggests that both Draupadi and Subhadra, although her name is not mentioned herein, got the same result. None of them had to quit the body. Hare Krishna. Text 51. Yat Shraddhayet Bhagavat Priyanam Pando Shrutanam iti samprayanam Shrunto alam swastayanam pavitram labdhva haro bhaktim upaiti siddhim. Yah, anyone, Shraddhaya, with devotion, etat, this, Bhagavat Priyanam, of those who are very dear to the personality of Godhead, Pando of Pandu, Shutanam of the sons, iti, thus, Samprayanam, departure for the ultimate goal, Shnoti, hears, Alam, only, Swastayanam, good fortune, Pavitram, perfectly pure, Labdhva, by obtaining, Haro, unto the Supreme Lord, Bhaktim, devotional service, Upaiti, gains, Siddhim, perfection. Translation by Sri Prabhupada. The subject of the departure of the sons of Pandu for the ultimate goal of life back to Godhead is fully auspicious and is perfectly pure. Therefore, anyone who hears this narration with devotion and faith certainly gains devotional service of the Lord, the highest perfection of life. Purport. The Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is a narration about the personality of Godhead and the devotees of the Lord like the Pandavas and others. The narration of the personality of Godhead and his devotees is absolute in itself. And thus, to hear it with a devotional attitude is to associate with the Lord and constant companions of the Lord. By the hearing process of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, one can attain the highest perfection of life, namely going back home, back to Godhead without failure. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of 15th chapter. 15 15th chapter, first canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, entitled The Pandavas Retire. Jagat Guru
Haribo.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Oh.
Jai.
Semi Prabhu,
Yes, Pramo.
you will see Canto Prabhu will join once we finish. Every time when you hear thus end the Bhaktivedanta purport, Karti Prabhu appears
Yes, Pramo. Let's see.
in the beginning, in the end. We are done, ne Prabhu? Hey, I need
Yes,
to
Prabhu.
leave now.
Now we chant the successful prayers. Cheto darpanam bhavamahatavagninirvapanam sneyah kairavachandrika vitaranam vidyavadujivanam anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnamritasvadanam sarvatma snapanam param vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam.
Namna Makari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti Stadrar Pita Nyamita Smarani Nakalaha Eta Trishi Dovakripan Bhagavan Mamapi Durodaiva Met Pishami Hajina Nurakraha.
Srinadapi sunicena tarorapi sahishnuna amanena manatena kirtaniyah sadahari.
Nanam
Nadanam Najanam. Okay, you can go, Prabhu.
Chakati Shakamaye Mama Janmani Janmanishware Bhavatad Bhaktirahaitu Tvayi.
Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Vishame Bhavam Buddho Kripaya Tova Pankaja Stitaduli Satrisham Vichintaya.
Inam Galada
Nayan-
Sridhara. Oh, sorry, Prabhu, you can chant.
Nayanam galadashrudharaya vadanam gadgada rudhaya gira पुलकैर्निचितं वपुकदा तव नाम गृहणे भविष्यति.
Is you semi Prabhu? I'll chant the last one.
Tam nimeshena chakshusha pravirsya itam shunya itam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me.
Asislava padaratam pinastumam madarchanam maramam hatam karotu vayata tatava vidatulan pato mat prananatastu sa eva narpanaha.
Haribol. Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benedictions to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. These are not even hard and false rules for chanting these names. Oh my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by chanting your holy names. But I'm so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers, only one who causes devotional service, birth after birth.
O son of
O
Maharaj
son
Radha
of
Krishna, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. Sorry, Subham Prabhu.
okay, oh no. O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tear of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up and when will the hairs of my body stand on the end at the recitation of your name?
Oh Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence.
I know no one but Krishna is my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly in his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord, unconditionally. Oh, Shri Siksastakam ki jai. Shri
Jai,
Mahaprabhu ki jai.
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 Janma
Taputana Paya Krishna Pade Premadan. If one is infested with the 10 offenses in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for many birds, he will not get the love of God, that is the ultimate goal of this chanting. The 10 offenses against the holy name are as follows. First offense is to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord.
Second offense, to consider the names of the demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the names of the Lord Vishnu.
Third offense, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master.
Fourth offense, to
Oh, thank
blaspheme.
you.
Oh, yes, Prabhu, to consider him as an ordinary person. The fourth offense, to blaspheme the Vedic Church, Holy Church, or in persons to the Vedic version.
Fifth offense, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination.
Sixth offense, to give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord.
Seventh offense, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord.
Eighth offense, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda.
Ninth offense, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name.
10th offense, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success. Krishna Prema, I offer my respectful obeisances. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like desire trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen souls. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha
Sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. Ananda Gaudiya Vaishnavita ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki
Jai.
jai, Gaura
Jai.
Prema.